Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of the Far Side Podcast. I'm your host Lana Miker and today's podcast is sponsored by Avigator Sex and Sports Energy Drinks. Strengthens your bones and boners. Try out their new flavor, Come On Broccoli, today. Alright everyone, I'm just going to be completely honest with you, I don't really want to be doing this. Okay, maybe that sounds a little harsh. But no, to be completely honest, there's not a lot planned for this podcast. As you can see, I have no paper here. Which means there's pretty much nothing planned. I do have a pre-recorded interview with a guest. I won't say his name yet to spoil it. You now know it's a male. Hey there, sorry to interrupt live, Landon. I just want to quickly apologize, I guess, for the fact that I did not post a podcast the previous week to, I guess that would have been last week. Essentially, I was away camping, so I did not post a podcast. Just wanted to let you guys know and wanted to put in this B-roll here. So that's the only reason I'm really telling you this, is so you can see some of these shots. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the episode, guys. But I will not say the guest's name. That's about it. I'm just going to be talking after we do the pre-recorded interview segment, which I'll roll here in a minute, about some plans moving forward with this podcast and what it's going to look like in the upcoming weeks, because I am planning on making changes. As you can tell by my attitude towards the podcast right now, I'm not too thrilled to be here. So let's just roll this pre-recorded interview. I hope you enjoy it because it's about all that's going to happen that is eventful in this podcast. And yeah, roll the interview. Hello everyone and welcome to the interview segment. I am joined by Parker Smith today, who will be co-hosting this segment. Parker, welcome back onto the show.
Happy to be here, Farside.
So Parker, if you recall, you were the first guest to come on to the Farside Podcast. Can you just give viewers and today's guest a little insight on what that was like and how we treated you here as a guest?
So last time, despite the high production values you saw, behind the scenes it was a disaster. No water, equipment damage. It was just a horrible experience. But I see things are looking up around here.
Yeah, we're treating the new guest much better than you were treated, Parker.
That's true.
All right, so we are going to now introduce the second guest on the Farside Podcast. This guest is an indie filmmaker, a YouTuber, movie and video game critic, and a professional actor. Please welcome onto our show Dawson Van Berkel, are more commonly known by his fans on YouTube as Mr. DVB.
Thank you very much for having me. I've been a fan of this podcast for quite some time now, so it's a joy to be on here. I had to freshen up before I got here. I actually shaved. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Keep it classy.
Unlike you homeless man.
Co-host isn't even trying today.
I'm growing it out for my co-host position.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's great having you on the show. And I heard you have a new short film that you have been working on recently.
Yes.
It's titled Memoria. And can you just give the viewers who are unfamiliar with this and want to know a little more about it, what it's about, and kind of explain the plot or give a brief summary on this new film?
Yeah, so Memoria, I came up with the idea for this film a few weeks ago. Basically, it's a film that's about, in many ways, the history of cinema. It's about, the golden age, the 60s, the 70s, that time period where movies were getting longer, bigger, and just, more what we know today. Mm-hmm. So it's a film kind of harkening back to those days. It's about a notorious film director named David Dickinson, who is a character in which I created, who was once this great Hollywood director. People, were saying he's as good as Hitchcock or Kubrick. But eventually, as time went on, his career started to, have a downfall as well as his life, and he became, this drunk loser. His career was over. He has many problems with his life. And in this film, after being in a severe accident, he gets an idea for a new movie and wants to start making that. And it's a film about kind of pursuing your dreams and just never giving up on what you always want. And as he's making the film, things start going wrong. So yeah.
Okay, well that sounds really good. I do believe we have a exclusive clip here from the film.
Yes.
That's on this channel. It was given just for this show. It will be posted to your channel at a later date, but right now we are the first ones to get a hold of it. Obviously, our legal team doing a great job here in their negotiations. So we are going to play that clip for you viewers in just a moment. But before we play it, I just want to give the viewers a little idea of what's going on in this clip and
Sure.
what kind of is happening leading up to this point in the film. Can you just give us a little insight on that?
Yeah, so this scene which you're about to view happens very early on in the film,
Okay.
within the first 10 minutes or so. pretty much what's happened at this point is we have caught up to the character and the state that he's currently in, which is, again, kind of a drunk, washed up. His friend Jamie, played by Noah, who used to co-host this podcast,
Yes.
appears and basically is trying to get his friend, the main character David Dickinson, to come back into the world, try to make commercials for people and use his skills. But really, he just doesn't have an interest in that because he feels like he's past his prime and he wants to basically just live out the rest of his days drinking.
Okay, sounds great. So we're going to play that clip for you viewers. This is an exclusive clip from DVB's new film, Memoria.
So why'd you come here? Don't say because you wanted to visit an old friend.
Why? Is that not a good enough reason?
I've heard that excuse enough times to know it's bullshit.
My buddy Rick down in 5th needs someone to help him make a commercial. I figured you could use the money. It'd be nice to get you back behind the camera.
I'm done with that life. Told you this.
You can't just live off of royalties and welfare for the rest of your life.
Says who? They're gonna have to pay for my beer.
Dave, you're a name of the past. You're not going to be making a dime off of royalties once they stop showing you reruns.
Why do you even bother coming here?
Because you're my friend. I care about you. We all do. We can't stand to sit and watch you throw your life away.
Just look the opposite direction. Well, that was rude.
You deserved it.
Jesus Christ, would you stop throwing my fucking beer?
How about you stop throwing your life away?
Jamie, my career is over, right? I got to have a wife, I got to make movies and win awards, but those days are long gone. Now it's just me and my 6-pack of beers.
And that's a sad way to live your life.
Just leave me alone.
Just think about it, okay? It'll be good for you to get back behind the camera. Here. I'll leave you his number. See you later.
He was right. Fresh air does smell nice.
Alright, that looks great. So what did you do to achieve that quality of film?
Well, I had a lot of help, first of all. This wasn't a one-man job. I had you guys. Well, I don't really know what the hell you did, honestly, Landon, but
Not
Parker,
a lot.
you are a cinematographer.
Yeah.
So, you definitely helped out just setting up the camera, getting the lighting the way we wanted it. As far as the actual lighting setup goes, we had 3 lights, or I guess 4 technically, because we had my actual porch's light. But
Right.
then we had one of your lights, which was yellow, to kind of match the light coming from the porch. There was the other light that was blue to make it look like it was outside, moonlight at nighttime, which was very, very effective in my opinion in the scene. And then the softbox, which was almost on the street and being absolutely demolished by a bunch of bugs.
Yes.
So that was kind of our setup. And yeah, I was really happy that turned out. I think we started around 10:30 and finished about 12:30, so it was about 2 hours, but it all went well.
Yeah, I mean, it looked great. And when you have Parker doing cinematography, it's going to be 100% pure Hollywood magic, really.
Yes.
Yeah, unless it's laugh track. That fucking piece of shit, God. I don't want the director's credit for that shit. Man, I can't think of a film that came worse.
Come on!
Ah, fuck! That's it. The Far Side podcast is done.
Alright, sorry about that. We had a little issue with our co-host. Alright, so Dawson, I want to ask you just for this new film, Memoria, what was kind of the inspiration behind this film? I think it's a really cool idea, and I would like to know, when writing it, where you kind of got your influence. What influenced this?
Yeah, so that's interesting, because it's based on a few different things, or at least I drew inspiration from separate things. Originally, after I finished watching Laugh Track for the first time, I had some fun with it. I thought it was enjoyable. It was good humor, and I liked the overall concept of this director who was given a very low budget to try to make a movie. So I thought, okay, let's take that concept and make it into a good film. And I kind of started there, and basically I wanted to have, it's just because I wanted it to be longer than Laugh Track. Because how long is Laugh Track? Like
13 minutes.
13 minutes, yeah. 13 minutes of my life I'll never get back. But I was like, I was like, okay, I want to make something longer than that, closer to like 30, 45 minutes maybe even. I have no idea. So yeah, I just started writing it. I drew some inspiration from this play I did back in grade 10, just as far as like the tone goes and some ideas. And otherwise, the whole idea of it, like kind of representing like cinema in the 60s and stuff, I don't think I necessarily drew inspiration from one particular thing. It was kind of just an idea I liked. I suppose it's similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so it could have been like unconscious inspiration, right? Where I'm like, oh, this is a great original idea. Oh wait, it's already been done.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I kind of took inspiration from those different things.
All right, sounds good.
So, Mr. DVB, when can we expect a release date for this film?
Man, as of right now, I don't actually know when the direct release date is gonna happen. I'm thinking it'll probably be in September or October. I'm aiming for like mid-September. It really depends on just everybody else's filming schedule. I haven't even completely finished the script yet. By the time this is actually uploaded to your channel, the script will most likely be finished, and we'll have continued recording. But yeah, as of now, we've actually only filmed that one scene that was showed earlier.
Okay.
All right, Mikey, you're supposed to intro the YouTube.
Shut up. I got control of
Not a
this.
co-host problem, real host problem.
All right. Okay, so I want to move on now. And again, viewers, you can expect this film on Mr. DVB coming out in around September. So let's move on now to your YouTube channel. I want to talk a little bit about that. You have a YouTube channel. It's called Mr. DVB. What kind of content do you post on this channel?
Yeah, so on Mr. DVB, I post a variety of content. When I started the channel, my original idea was just to do movie reviews and short films, because those are things that I love doing. And as time has gone on, I've actually ventured into reviewing games as well, which I almost enjoy doing more than movie reviews, because I record footage from myself playing the games and incorporate that into the reviews, and they all match up with what I'm saying. So if I say something particular, it'll be showing that, and it just looks kind of professional in my opinion. So yeah, game reviews is something that I do on my channel, movie reviews, short films, rankings for movies and stuff, all kinds of content on my channel.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, yeah, so you have a lot of videos on your channel, and it's been running for quite some time. So what are your favorite videos, would you say?
Favorite videos. I'm a big fan of, well, I shouldn't say I'm a big fan, but I really enjoy my short films. That's what my main passion is for my channel. I wish I have made more, honestly, but I haven't. As you guys know, it's something hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with, the guys that you work with. I'd say my short films and my video game reviews, like I talked about, and my rankings. Honestly, anything that I have to put a lot of time into editing, because you're sitting there and you're editing and it's taking a lot of time, it usually ends up turning out really well. Whereas movie reviews I find are so simple to do, because you're basically just sitting there giving your thoughts. It's pretty simple stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so on your channel you do a lot of movie reviews. So you're a pretty big film guy. What would you say are some of your favorite films?
Oh, favorite films. I don't know. I've actually thought about this before. I'm making a video actually talking about my favorite movie of every single year for the past 50 years. It's kind of a weird concept, but I would say some of my favorites, not in any particular order. I'm a really big fan of Silence of the Lambs, which you reviewed on the podcast.
Yeah.
Last episode?
Yeah, it would have been 2 weeks ago, but it was the last episode.
Yeah. So you reviewed that, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that. That's I just really like the tone of that movie.
Yeah.
I'm into those kind of murder mystery type films. I just find that crime investigation thing kind of cool, and they're not like horror films, but they do have this eerie aspect to them that I really like. Raiders of the Lost Ark, another one of my favorites, just a great action adventure film from start to finish. Jaws is really good. Anything by Christopher Nolan, pretty much, I'm a really big fan of his. He's my favorite director. Like Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight Trilogy. Those movies. I mean, I love a lot of films.
All right, I want to go back to your film Memoria for a moment here.
Sure.
I know you are working, with the one and only Mr. Hollywood himself right over here, Parker Smith.
Oh, yes, the legend.
On this production. Can you tell us what he's been doing and how much of an influence and an inspiration he's been to have on set?
Well, those aren't exactly words I would use to describe how he's been on set, to be honest.
Harsh, but fair.
Yeah. I originally casted him, actually. I originally gave him the role of Tommy Gunn, who's a character that I wrote specifically with him in mind after his amazing performance as Rhett Williams in the Eternal Dirt, or sorry, as in
The
Laugh
Eternal
Track.
Dirt.
In the Laugh Track.
Yeah.
Thought that character was really funny, and I liked the accent that he did. So I was like, okay, I can write a character called Tommy Gunn that'll fit that. So I think when we start filming his scenes, he's gonna be good. But I mean, I hired him as a cinematographer for this scene, the scene that you guys just watched, and no.
Watch the
didn't
clip.
work.
Just
Watch
no.
the clip.
The-
Beautiful.
It has
beautiful
good shots. It has good shots. I will give him that. But
That's the
he took
cinematographer's
so
job.
long on set to do things.
Oh, you
It was
should
a
have heard
mess.
the director. Oh,
And-
fuck, take the tripod down. Oh wait, we gotta do this first.
All right,
Crack
all right.
the can.
But if you want to talk about somebody
God.
who's actually doing nothing on set, let's talk about you, Landon.
Alright, we can all
We're
direct
coming
it
back to
towards
here. We're
Lango.
coming back
Yeah,
to this
because
now.
you just sat there the entire
Hey,
time.
if you would have given me a job to do.
Well, I don't know what to say because you just sat there. You didn't even sit. You stand. And you would walk around, and you two would just goof around off set. It was a mess. It sucked so badly.
Goof around during
Yeah.
takes, but
It
it
was.
doesn't matter.
It's like, hey, shut up, okay? You're wasting our time.
Parker.
All right. Anyways, continue.
Continue. We're just gonna keep rolling. Can you please leave?
This podcast has gone to shit.
Okay, let's continue. Let's try and wrap this up because I want to.
All right, continue.
Okay, so I want to thank you very much for being on today's podcast. I think it was an honor to have you on our show.
Yeah, it was an honor to be on here. I've been
I
a fan
think
of it for a
I
while,
really
so.
want people to go take the time and go check out your YouTube channel, Mr. D. Parker. I'm trying to be professional and finish. Can you shut up? Can you shut up? Jeez, Parker. Jeez. Okay, sorry. Let's just wrap this up. So I want people to go take the time, check out Mr. DVB, your YouTube channel. I think it's a great channel. There's a lot of good content on there. And I also want them to go check out your short film Memoria when it comes out in September. Looking forward to seeing that. Any final words before we wrap up your interview?
No final words. I just want to say that I've had a lot of fun on the podcast so far. Coming here has been a joyous experience, and I don't know much else.
The Far Side Podcast.
I don't have much else to say besides that. So
All
thank
right.
you for having me, and
Yeah,
look forward to Memoria coming out soon.
It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, it was a pleasure being on the show.
Okay, thanks, viewers. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that interview segment with Dawson Van Berkel, or Mr. DVB. I know I had a ton of fun filming that. Okay, so essentially, I'm just going to talk about the changes coming to this podcast. I haven't done one of these changes type videos since the old podcast, the original Farside podcast, when that was pretty much every episode. But I am making a few just minor changes, nothing really major, and I just want to quickly clarify them because I have nothing else to talk about in this podcast. So I thought, what better way to kill time than to talk about a few minor changes coming to these podcasts with, they'll be in effect, I guess, now? I don't know. Alright, so essentially the biggest change is I'm going to be posting every second week. So there won't be a podcast every week anymore, it'll be every second week. And they're going to be shorter. So right now the podcast length, they go anywhere between, I don't know, I mean they started out being around 20-25 minutes, now they're 30-35 minutes, or at least the episode 5 and episode 6 were 30 plus. The new podcast is probably going to be around 15 to 20 minutes, so back to the length of the original Farside podcast. If you remember, those ones usually ran for about 15-20 minutes, and that's kind of where I'm headed with these new podcasts. Not new ones, but the upcoming episodes. As for highlight videos, it's going to be one highlight video a week, and it's just going to be called TFP 6, 7, 8, whatever the episode number is, and then highlights. If you've been staying tuned with the channel, staying up to date with the channel, you would know episode 6, I did that for episode 6. I had the highlights. It was TFP number 6 highlights, and it was an 8-minute video of just all the best highlights, which there were none, but clips I threw together that I could call highlights and into a timeline. And so yeah, that's what they were. I'm pretty sure it has 2 views at the time of this recording, so nobody really cares about it, which isn't really a surprise. And yeah, that's about it. Podcasts. I have to admit, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not really enjoying them anymore. I don't know if I really ever was enjoying them, to be honest with you, but I'm not really enjoying them as much as I was at one point. So I'm hoping that if I post every second week and I make them shorter, that somehow it'll keep me from just quitting in general, like I did with the original Farside podcast. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. Yeah. That's about it. That's about all the changes you're going to see. Not a lot more to say. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you could call it an episode, it was more just like an interview segment mixed with me whining and complaining. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. If you stuck with us through this interesting edition of the Farside podcast. And if you feel the urge to subscribe, do it. If you have no desire, I don't care. So that's about it for this episode of the Farside podcast. That was the 7th episode. I am now signing out.
Fuck the Farside podcast. Get soaked 4 times in one shoot.
Was it 4 or 5?
I think it might have been 5.
I was soaked the whole way through.
So what do you want
and
to
not for reasons.
Future guests,
It's because he was thinking of Lindsay. That's why he's so wet.
Parker, what would you say to future guests who are thinking of coming onto the show?
Future guests? Well, I'd say, get out while you still can. It's a fucking shit show. You're gonna get doused from all sides. You think you're doing a good take, you're getting hit with water.
What about you, Dawson? What would you say to future guests?
Come on the show. As long as you're not Parker Smith, you're going to be having a fun time.
Don't come on. Don't.
All right, this is the post-podcast
I didn't
episode
get respect
7.
the first time.
My
I hate this podcast.
Parker got
This podcast
soaked.
sucks.
Lemonade.
This is lemonade.
It's literally
He knew he was gonna throw it at me too.
Absolutely beautiful.
Last appearance, you saw it here.
Classic behind the scenes.
This is not drying.
Make sure to check out this week's episode. This guest right here. And this guy.